Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mr. Meade Plays. Today we're going to be looking at an old flash game that I used to get my students to play in class, and it's looking at the brain. It's a special type of surgery where we're cutting through the corpus callosum, the nerve fibres that join the two hemispheres together, so it's almost like the brain is working as two independent halves inside the one body. So today we're going to be playing the split brain game, Mr. Split Brainy. Now this used to be available on the Nobel Prize website. Unfortunately, it's flash-based, so I had to pull a few strings in the background and get a flash emulator running. So I thought I'd record it today and get an idea of what it was like, and if you can, play it yourself, but it's not as easy as it once was. So this is Mr. Split Brainy, and you can see he's moving his right leg, and that's his left hemisphere being active. And crossing over, his right hemisphere is controlling the left side of his body. Alright, and he's poking out the corpus callosum here. So intact brain allows the two hemispheres to communicate. And you notice that he doesn't actually have his, it's been severed, so it's been cut to prevent a form of epilepsy, which is uncurable in the 1960s without doing that dramatic surgery. Wife still loves him, that's good. She'd be a pretty bad person if she left him after that. And so he's telling you that it makes him very, very interesting. So from a scientific point of view, tells us a lot about the role of the corpus callosum and the roles of the hemispheres in terms of certain behaviours. So he's getting involved in an experiment, and hopefully he's going to be reimbursed for his time. So you notice here, Mr. Split Brainy is going to be staring straight ahead, and there's a system of projectors that are going to show an image to the left and right hemisphere. And so left visual field, it's going to his right hemisphere. You notice that the word sophisticated, right? Getting an idea of the letters down the bottom corner. That's what he might be thinking. He didn't say anything. Show it to the right visual field, goes to the left hemisphere. He reads it, says sophisticated. Let's have a look what else. Let's go left hemisphere, recognizing it's a face. And you can see the speech bubble at the top there, he's saying it's a face. Left visual field, right hemisphere, doesn't say anything. Let's do some maths. Alright, he's verbalising 4310 is 4. So you know that he saw it. Show to left visual field. He's thinking, but doesn't say anything. Again, left visual field. Potentially he might be visualising it, but he doesn't say anything. Shark, right visual field. Thinks shark. It says shark. So he says it out loud. So the experimenters, as we're playing through here, showing things to the right visual field, he seems to be able to articulate or say what he witnesses. For each of the things in the right visual field, but the left visual field, we ask him, what did you see? He says nothing. So we can't read minds of an experimenter. So if you're an experimenter in this situation, you might think, hey, every time I show something to the left visual field, he doesn't say anything. Or he says he saw nothing, or didn't see anything. So potentially we might think, hey, there might be some blindness going on here. So we'll try and show a few things to both sides. Alright, doesn't say anything. We might think that he might articulate or visualize a pig. And the word heart, reads it out. It says heart. So it's quite literal and analytical there. Alright, again, show him a picture of a heart, says heart. Pretty straightforward for the right visual field. Show him a heart in the left visual field. Oh, it's a picture of his wife. Alright, but he doesn't say he saw anything. Now, we understand what the left and right visual hemispheres might be doing, so that's why there's some visualizations down there. But let's play the role of the experimenter here. So we're going to go have a coffee break. Alright, and so they might hypothesize, hey, potentially he's blind in his eye. He's not saying he saw anything in a certain visual field. So everything presented to the left visual field, sent to the right hemisphere. Could be something wrong with his right hemisphere. So maybe the surgery cutting the corpus callosum damaged it. Maybe he's half brain dead. So as a researcher, you'd have to try and articulate and sort of formulate your findings, try and make a conclusion. So the tests show there's blood flowing to both hemispheres, so it's not that he's brain dead. So let's see if we can get some more grant money. Alright, so here's our proposal. We're looking for Mr. Split Brainy getting shown stuff in his left visual field, goes to his left hemisphere. No, it should be right to left hemisphere. And then his left visual field goes to his right hemisphere. Alright, let's put the proposal through and see if we get some funding. So now we play the waiting game. Alright, and finally the mail comes through. Have we been successful? Congratulations. More money. Let's do it. So once we've got our funding, we can go through and set up another stage of this experiment. And this time we're going to be asking Mr. Split Brainy to tell us what he saw on the screens, but also to put his hands under the desk and actually physically grab out the object that he was shown. So let's have a look if there's anything different that occurs. So show him a face, right visual field goes to left hemisphere. I saw a face, but can't find an object that resembles a face under the table. Alright, let's try another one. Let's show this a dangerous anaconda. So again, left hemisphere's processing that. Says a dangerous anaconda. Pulls it out with his right hand. Here's that anaconda he asked for. Okay, so right visual field goes to our left hemisphere. Says I saw slime. And pulls out some slime with his right hand. Similarly, let's show a maths problem. Goes to our left side, processes it, understands it, does the working out, says that the answer is 2. Here's the number 2. Alright, try the same thing, same maths problem to the left visual field, goes to the right hemisphere. Says I saw nothing. Alright, doesn't pull anything out. So, hey, maybe we're right, maybe he's blind. Alright, let's try something else. Let's show him a face then. Alright, shows him a face. Recognises it's Gloria. Saw nothing. However, here's that little doll of Gloria. And notice he says, why did I pick up Gloria? So left hemisphere is the one articulating or speech production. And seems confused. Alright, showing that there was the dangerous anaconda again. Says I saw nothing. Alright. So showing slime to left visual field, right hemisphere is visualizing it, but still says I saw nothing. But then pulls out slime and he's confused. Why did I pull out slime? This is quite different to what we saw in the first time. So let's keep showing some left visual field stuff. Right, 1 plus 2, pretty easy. 3. Left hand pulls out 3 sausages. Bit of a creative answer. Ice cream. Alright. Pavlovian response there. Pulls out an ice cream with his left hand. Why did I pick up this ice cream? So it's quite a confusing experience for Mr. Split Brainy here. Thinks he saw nothing, but then still pulling out things. Right visual field, says I saw an ice cream. Right hand. Okay, so we'll fly through these last few, you can have a look. Might speed this up a bit. Alright, so now it's time to figure out what's going on there. Every time something was shown to the left visual field, it went to the right hemisphere. In that instance, the patient, Mr. Split Brainy, said, I saw nothing. But then, for some of those objects, he was able to pull out the object from under the table with his left hand. Alright, and then vice versa, when we showed to the right visual field, it went to his left hemisphere and he pulled it out with his right hand. So, there's evidence there to show that the left hemisphere is controlling the right hand and the right hemisphere is controlling the left hand, but also evidence to show that all of the language production stuff would be in the left hemisphere. But also when something is pulled out the left hand and you said you saw nothing, they were still able to articulate and go, hey, what's going on here? I don't remember seeing anything. So it's almost like the left hemisphere is working completely independently of the right hemisphere. Now, don't get it confused with split personalities or anything like that, but a nice little analogy is to think like the two halves of the brain are still the one person, but they're working independently of each other. So if we have a look at the two abstracts here and just see who's correct. Abstract 1, the left and right hemispheres of the brain are specialised in different tasks. I'm going to bottom paragraph. Prove that left hemisphere is better in language than the right half. The right hemisphere is mute. It doesn't mean that it's stupid. So we saw that. Now, we can't see what someone's thinking. So we can't see what they're visualizing in their head when they're recognizing faces or thinking of their wives or, I don't know, thinking of scary monsters. But the fact that they took it out with their left hand, or you could ask them to draw it or point to an object, shows that that image was still processed. So it's not a blindness, but they're actually processing and understanding what's going on. Now that differed when we showed them maths problems, written sentences where they had to comprehend what was going on. More simple things, they could identify numbers, they might be pulling out a number of objects. Whereas in the more analytical, literal side of the brain, the left hemisphere might be just pulling out the number 2. Abstract 2's got them all in reverse. Alright, so he's not going to get published. No Nobel Prize for you. So we put through Abstract 1 and you get your feedback. Read the letter. Someone's going to devote a whole website to you, make a little Flash animation based on your research, live on in infamy until Flash becomes defunct. Alright, happy days. So hopefully something resonates with you from here. I'm sorry that you don't get the opportunity to play it yourself, but for those that are nostalgic about this and want to relive some of those dead animations, hopefully this was proved useful for you.